Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? I hope everyone's having themselves a gorgeous, beautiful, magnificent day. It's your boy, Courageous Cody, back again with another video. I'm trying to do a double upload, just trying to see if that'll help the channel at all. But yeah, it's another weed story, as you can probably tell by the title. And this story takes place around 9 or 10 years ago. I was about 15, 16 at the time, and I grew a weed plant. I honestly don't remember what the strand was, but I think it may have been green crack. And yeah, so I grew this plant. It's the end of the year. It's like, I'm not sure, it's the end of August. So this plant was just about ready, probably in the next couple of weeks. I still remember. And yeah, so I have some alcohol, and I mentioned to a couple people who I chilled with a few times but wanted to get to know better that, yeah, I have alcohol basically. And I had this hidden in the woods behind my place, and the only way to get there was to park in a driveway. So we did that. We grabbed the booze, we put it in a duffel bag, and we actually, there was a limb on the weed plant that broke off, and it was not savable, so we broke it off just to sort of stick it in the microwave, which I don't recommend doing, but it's a quick way, non-efficient, to dry out weed. You could also get like a can with a screen at the bottom of it and use a hair dryer to dry your weed, but again, it's not efficient. Don't do it unless you're in a pinch. But yeah, that's Courageous Cody tip right there. So we leave, we go to my buddy's place, and we drink. You know, we do our thing, and I end up passing out probably either first or second. And I woke up at like 4 a.m. at my buddy's place, and his mom was nice enough to drive me home. She's like, "Oh, you came through, did you?" I was like, "Yeah." So I'm laying in bed at home, probably around 9 o'clock the same morning, and I'm hungover. I'm feeling like Dookie. I don't want to do anything except lay there and die, basically. If you know, you know. But my grandmother comes barging in my room, and usually she would at least knock, so I knew something was up right away. And she says, "You better watch who your friends are." And I go, "Pardon me? Like, what are you trying to say here?" She's like, "Yeah, we found your weed plants, we found your bong, we found everything." And imagine hearing that. She's like, "They're thinking you're going to have to go to jail or pay a fine." And I'm so stressed out. My head is pounding. Like, I'm hungover, and you come in and you give me this news. Come to find out, nobody told on me. She just found my plant because we were back there, and she went to investigate what we were doing because we weren't back there for very long. And she ended up finding it. Called the cops on me. It was just one plant. This plant, let me tell you, was absolutely beautiful. Like I said, I believe it was green crack. This plant was about 5 feet tall, which isn't very tall, but it was like 5 feet, 6 feet big around. Like, it was a bush. And I also had a 5-gallon bucket of homemade alcohol I was making. So I go back to check on my shit, and I realize my alcohol's gone. My bong is gone. A friend gave me that to me when I was in the hospital, so it meant a lot. It was actually one of my brain surgeries, I believe. And my plant, it's cut from the very bottom. And this plant would have been ready in about, if you count drying time, it would have been ready in about a month. So, you know, it was a couple weeks away from harvesting. And I was so sad because, you know, you put all this work and you're expecting to get something good out of it, and all of a sudden you find out you're going to jail because of it. Now, I sat down with the cop the next day. No. Actually, it was later on in that day. And this cop, he's got a big reputation for being an asshole. But I did not have that experience with him. He basically sat me down. He said, we know these are your plants and that was your liquor and all this. He says, we just want to see you get your green card. And, I'm in shock. Did this cop really just say that? So he asked me about my issues and what it helps me with, and I explained. It helps me with nausea, it helps me with anxiety, it helps me with pain, it helps me to sleep. Yeah, it helps me with headaches. And the cop's like, listen, buddy, we could try you as an adult, and we could charge you, but obviously you're different from people growing pounds of weed, and we just want to see you get your green card. We're not going to throw you in jail, but just promise me you won't do this again unless it's legal. And I was very shocked to hear this. This cop was cool as hell. He's even making jokes. He's like, yeah, I heard it can make you hungry. And I'm like, you heard it can make me hungry. You heard it can make somebody hungry. Basically pointing out, I know you tried it. Don't you lie to me. And he's laughing. And yeah, that's basically the end of the story. I ended up getting my green card when I turned 18. And it's legal here in Canada, so you don't really need it anymore. But yeah, that's it. Peace.